Not starting on time, dragging your feet, not what the fans come to see, flair at the wrong times, and honestly just not a good performance in general. And I'm talking about the national anthems.
Yeah, that was the biggest takeaway of this game.
Honestly, man, like I gotta say, that was one of the strangest performances I've seen in a long time. It was giving me Fergie a la NBA All Star Game vibes. Like,
It was weirder
holy
than the
moly.
Tampa series, where I feel like they just threw out a terrible singer for the Canadian one all the time. At least you know she was bad. This one was just like, oof.
Well, and remember when Florida made headlines for the guy on Pride Night who just did not know the lyrics at all? I feel like it's just them in general. They cannot get decent singers, and everyone who's there tries to make it, as a lot of people pointed out, an audition. It's not. You are not there to show up, to show off. You're not there to get a record deal. That can happen if you're releasing music on the side, but like it, I think the only one that gets a pass here is Nashville because they tend to bring out like some big stars to sing the anthem, and even they don't embellish it. Like that was like, who are you? I don't care. Get the game going.
Someone won a lot of money
Yeah,
picking the over on that anthem
yeah. It's
because
like
there's a
there's
ton of bets on time.
right, and it's like there's a secret competition going for best anthem singer or something. Just the way it's been going and the Mariah Carey type performances, it's like you know it's
Oh,
happening. You just want to see who's going to hit the note at this point.
I can't stand that note. Like she added a couple of them, but the one at the end where it's on the free where they do the
Oh
octave.
yeah,
Oh, it's so and Canada every time. Oh, Canada.
oh,
Oh man.
What's with the yelling at night?
I don't get it.
I don't know, man.
Spencer
I
Knight
don't.
was a goalie, maybe to understand, but
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I don't
So,
know.
Phil Wilds here on Twitter replied that he was at an ECHL game in Jacksonville, and the same woman went on for at least 4 minutes doing the anthem, and that would have
that's
only been for
insane.
just the American one.
I feel like the over under is
Yeah.
usually like 2 minutes, 3, 4 seconds, and we're usually in there. So 4 minutes is insane.
Mhm. Another good one came from Jeff Miller Chico. They need the anthem singers to referee, the referees to sing the anthems because neither of them can do their jobs.
All right. Well, we'll get into this eventually, but yeah.
Well,
Um,
I saw you saying, Roscoe, like they care about shootouts and overtime during the regular season and couldn't give two shits for the postseason. And I mean, yesterday was a big deal because the Kentucky Derby and I guess scheduling Miami Heat were playing playoffs, so Leafs weren't
Yeah.
couldn't play in town. But damn, they take up the whole time when they are. I don't know.
So I guess the general consensus was like, why do we even do the national anthem at the beginning of these games? And I want to hear your takes on that because I posted it saying, maybe this is an unpopular opinion because I don't know people's level of patriotism or how much even that bleeds into how much they feel about the anthem at sports games. Like you can be patriotic and maybe not give a shit about it at a hockey game. So I don't know. I personally am like it's not an international game. Like it's not Canada versus the US. It's the Panthers versus the Leafs. There's players from so many different countries on both teams. I really don't get why it's representing either country because like the rest of Canada's not getting behind the Leafs. The Oilers are playing too. Like
Mhm.
it's not
Hmm.
like the whole country's rallying behind them, and it's the same for the Panthers. Like there's so many American teams. It's not like they're representing America. I don't know.
Me,
True.
I'll be honest. I honestly have never really thought about it before. I feel like it's just a tradition thing that started, and we've been doing it ever since. But yeah, now that you mention it, there's a really good reason to be doing it.
Well, somebody pointed out that it started because of World War II, which is funny because we were just talking about that in the fact that the Leafs are down 3-0, and that happened in 1942. But this
Mhm.
was something that happened because of that to show patriotism and keep people unified and supporting the war effort. So now that we're in a completely different age where the world is so connected and it's everybody's from everywhere and we know what's going on everywhere. I feel like it's just kind of a dated thing that just has stuck around because it's become tradition. I don't know. I feel like it won't be around in 20 years, but maybe I'm wrong.
outside of sporting events and school, when else
Mhm.
do you hear the anthem?
Right? That's the thing that I don't. It's like unless you're getting a medal or starting a sporting event, like it's very strange the uses we have for national anthems now.
I bet you
So,
if you're to ask, sorry, Steph, if you were to ask the
no, go ahead.
players, they would want to get rid of it because you're so jacked up. Like you got the whole day leading up to this game, you got your warm ups, you're all ready to go, and all of a sudden you got to wait like 8 minutes for someone to sing two songs. You're standing on the blue line,
Mhm.
all you have, you're in your head, you're thinking like, if they could do without that, I feel the players would be pretty happy.
Yeah, and somebody pointed out that the MLB and NBA don't always televise the national anthem. Like it's just sometimes, depending on
Hmm.
the arena, they will, and whoever's singing it, they might.
Yeah,
That's the.
TSN too.
Do they sometimes not?
No, whenever it's broadcasted on TSN, they always skip the anthem.
Oh, I haven't noticed that.
hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like we're out of school. Maybe it's that perfect time to hear it, or else you'll never hear it again, sort of thing. But a lot of players, I bet, have I don't know these like things they have to do with the anthem. Maybe it'll screw up their overall get up to get ready for the game as well. Like if you took out the anthem completely, I think everyone would be screwed in a sense because they're so used to having it.
Oh, I
Maybe
think the
it's part of Sunday's
opposite.
ritual.
I think they'd
Okay.
fucking love it. You go right from warm ups, blow that whistle, you got like 30 seconds, and then drop the puck. You don't have time to think. You don't get in your own head. You're just focused, ready to go.
Now, because I
Also,
didn't play in like lower, any hockey leagues at all. So do they do this? Do they do anthems for like lower leagues? Like when do they start doing the anthem before the
They
game?
would do it when I was in like lower leagues for bigger tournaments. In junior, they would do it as well too. But in smaller leagues, obviously, it's not a thing. But yeah, for the big tournaments, they would do it. And then once you hit junior, they started doing it as well. And I never liked it.
hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm thinking it's also a publicity thing, like when they have guest performances or choirs come in and they have built those partnership relationships with these organizations and I don't know, to build that kind of front.
Yeah.
No, it's fair. But I mean, if you want to do that, there's also like ceremonial puck drops and stuff that they can do. But I think a lot of those things, the point of it is that it all needs to happen before the game time. Like if the game is supposed to start at 7:30 or 7, these things can't be happening at 7:30 or 7. They got to start 15 minutes before the game because
Yeah.
the fact that we're sitting here for anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, like what is going on? Why has the game not started yet is kind
It's
of
true.
ridiculous.
If you're watching NFL, like they kick off at 1 o'clock. No questions
Hmm.
asked. It's always right on time.
Oh, I wish, man.
It's like
They
the
have their
hockey
shit together.
preview,
You know who's going to play. You know what time the game's going to start. Oh, it must be nice. I should switch over to football.
Eh,
right?
might have to soon.
Yeah.
17 games a season? Damn.
And with that, let's talk about the Leafs.
Let's do it.
Hi, this is Mike Ross, public address announcer for your Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is the Leafs Late Night Podcast, your post-game destination. And now, your starting lineup. Roscoe, the Fanalyst, Suthy, Beaner, and Darty Brodeur on the Leafs Late Night Podcast.
Okay, so we said it before. We're down 3-0. Last time somebody came back from that in a Leaf jersey was in 1942. So that's what, 79 years? No big deal. We can do it.
Only team to do it in the final too.
I know what you and I said in the chat, and I don't want to get swept because it would be such a lame way to go out after finally getting into the first round. But like, holy shit, guys, get it together.
The good news is that the last time a team came back from a 3-0 deficit, it was only 2014. It was the LA Kings in the Western Conference Final, and then it happened again in 2010 with the Flyers in the Eastern Conference Final. But we want to be the fifth time in NHL history to have this happen. How crazy would it be, in Leaf fashion, to do it again?
I mean, like on paper, we have the horses to do it, but these past 3 games have shown us that that's a fucking tough uphill climb for them right now, especially like with like I said, the big horse is just not going.
Well, it felt like the first two, they were giving everything and couldn't get through Bobrovsky. And then
100%.
tonight, it was like they tried to take a different approach or something, and it did not work at all. Like I don't know if they were just deflated from not being able to get anything past him. Like they're just not confident anymore. They don't know what to do, but they looked lost tonight, the top six.
Yeah, there was speculation about, Geo coming out and maybe Simmons going in, and we didn't really know the lines until the game actually started because Keith was just like, here, have it all. Everyone warm up and we'll make the decision at the end of warm up. But, Shen even said after the last game, there's never been a team that's, went through the playoffs with ease, right? Every team goes through adversity. He's never seen or experienced that. And, tonight just proves that again with Samsonov going down and just the way she rolls. Like, no power play opportunities, guys.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That hadn't happened
Right?
all season, all playoffs, like just not getting one at
When
all.
you
We
have
want to
four
start with that.
shots in the first 20, 23, 24 minutes, you have no
Yeah.
sustained pressure. It's hard to get a call. Like, they're not putting any pressure on Florida, so there's no reason to incite them to take a penalty. I didn't think that maybe one or two calls got missed, but I don't think it was the ref's fault tonight.
No, and honestly, they let the Leafs slide with way more than they should have. Like they
100%.
were, and I felt like they just didn't want to call one because of, and I don't want to say this, but fear of the backlash if they were to give like multiple power plays to Florida and just not give anything to Toronto. Like if it's in the last 10 minutes there where there was that hooking call that they were just like, whatever. Like I can't call this right now because we're looking for something for Toronto and there's just nothing.
There is no way, shape, or form that this loss is on the refs. Like,
No.
they did not lose this
No.
game for them.
This wasn't on goaltending for the Leafs. This wasn't on the refs. This wasn't on the depth not showing up. Like, unfortunately, it was the same thing that happened in years past, where it's just the core couldn't get it done for 60 complete minutes. It was a sparse maybe 12 to 15 in the third period, and that was not enough to win a game.
Mhm.
Yeah, everyone came into tonight, scared shitless because Wes McCauley and Dan O'Rourke were on the ice tonight. And the good news about that was that the home teams in the postseason so far have been 0-5 with Wes on the ice, but unfortunately now he's 1-5, and the Leafs, the stats are horrible with them too, like 0-8 in playoffs. But you're absolutely right, guys. Like, this could have been 100+ penalty minute type game if they called every little thing, or you just put the whistle in the pocket and we end up with 4 penalty minutes throughout the entire game tonight. So I
My
don't
my
know.
only gripe with the refs, it's not even the refs, it's the linesmen. I think they missed two blatant offsides in overtime that resulted in offensive faceoffs for Florida. Neither resulted in a goal, but I think it would have shifted the game, and that's the only like true gripe I had with them. Maybe Morgan Riley's call, but even that's pretty close.
Okay, so let's look at something that worked tonight. For some reason, the most productive people on the entire Leafs lineup were the ones that were the solo two lineup. The last two in the 11 and 7, Sam Lafferty and David Kampf. Oh my God, it didn't matter who was with them. They were the hungriest guys out there tonight. They were the only ones that were making smart plays to actually clear the zone, making short passes and carrying it out instead of whipping it to the center ice and hoping somebody's there. The amount of times I even saw Marner just make these Hail Mary passes when, you've already had 9 turnovers. It's like, what? Not the time and place to do it. So Lafferty and Camp, I found, were very effective in being able to carry the puck out, especially with Nylander on that line. Like, I got to give it to those guys. They were really carrying it and managed to. I mean, I know Camp didn't score that second goal, but had it not gone off of one of the whoever it was in front of the Panthers net there, he would have put it in.
Yeah.
I love the game that they played, and typically, if your fourth line plays that great, usually you are going to win. However, when they outplay every other line to like a huge degree, that's a massive, massive problem. Like, they cannot be your best players in a game where you're down 2-0. They just cannot happen. So, like, kudos to them, but
Yeah, and
I think that's more of a reflection on the rest of the team than it is those guys.
yeah, and like I tweeted out saying, how are they the best guys on the ice? And everyone's like, oh, because they're hungry. I'm like, no, I'm not saying they're bad by any means. I'm saying even on their best night, they should not be the best players on the Leafs. Like, there's no
Never.
way. But I mean, they were. It's great to see, and I'm glad somebody was carrying the weight there. But somebody has to pick up some of the slack at some point. Nobody did.
I think to start off the game, the Leafs were absolutely buzzing. Like, it's so nice to see them score on the first shot that gets on net as well. I mean, Matthews was off the post and another shot off Barkov's stick. And, like, less than or just over 2 minutes into the first, you have a 2-on-1 with Camp and Lafferty. And if you watch the replay here, it was all Lafferty getting the puck off the boards, passing it to Riley, Kerfoot, and then shooting it up the ice and creating this 2-on-1. Man, just the feelings and the emotion off of this, I was like, damn, they learned from last game. Like this is great. And they were cycling the puck in the first period. I thought, Leafs won this period. They got this, and second period comes and I'm like, fuck, what happened on that Duclair play? Like, literally a shot straight down Centerville from Ekblad. Like, nobody home. I mean, Leafs are on the PK here, but why is Duclair left all alone at the blue line and no one's really on him? Like, it's just too many stupid mistakes. Oh, God.
Yeah, for as offensively effective as Gustafsson was tonight, he had a lot of defensive lapses. There were a lot of turnovers and just, misses at the blue line that ended up in back in their zone that I think caused one of the goals, and a couple passes that went awry. It just, yeah, man, it was tough. Like, he was great offensively tonight, which is, what you bring him in for. But yeah, I guess the pairing with him was not great because he got left alone a lot.
Yeah, I found Anthony Duclair tonight. It was the Duke show. I mean, he was the one who got caught on that 2-on-1 on the first play, and then he scores the next goal. And then he had the highest amount of shots to end the first two periods. The guy was all over the place, and I'm like, damn, Nylander was trying, I found, but he's still not using his body. He's still floating around like not he's afraid to get in between players, it seems. And all Florida has to do is just crush him, right? Like, just crush the puck off of him and, I don't know, open it up.
And to your point about like Duclair and the mistakes that the D made, like he was hanging out on our blue line, so it obviously spread them out. There was one player, there was Hall, and he just let him get right behind him. And obviously it changes the game plan, but you got to be aware of someone who's behind you at that point, and it was a huge problem for the whole game.
Yeah, he obviously saw a hole and took advantage of it for the entire game. A hole.
Yeah, Duclair almost had another one in the first period, but thank God Luke Shin was there to lift his stick and not tap it in on the doorstep. Oh my God. And then, stupid little things. Just even the Ryan O'Reilly pass straight to Kachuk in the third period. And it's like, guys, like, are you looking with your eyes? Like, what is going on?
Yeah, and even Marner, anytime he was covering for the D was rough tonight. It was him and Willie, like, under the same thing you were saying with him, where you're just afraid to get into the plays and just getting crunched. I found Marner was the same tonight.
He was afraid to take the big hit, and if he had the puck, usually like a hash marks to our icing line too, he would circle back and like try to make a play, and he got caught 3 or 4 times doing that where he lost the puck, and it just created 2 or 3 shifts where Florida was cycling and dominating our end. And that's something you can't do. Like, if you have to ice it, chip it off the boards, flick it all the way down, like, do what you have to do, but you can't keep losing the puck there. And especially from the top of the circle to the blue line, the gap control was so fucking brutal. Florida was able to cruise in. There was always a straggler coming in. They'd come in with speed. And that was the story of the whole game. Like, they just had speed in our end. They dominated. And
Yeah.
it's brutal defensive play.
Yeah. The Leafs, I thought they figured it out on this Eric Gustafsson goal, scoring off the rush. I mean, they finally break out the puck from their own end. JT gets it to Yarncroke, who feeds it to Willie, enters the zone, find Gus rushing in for the shot with Camp on the doorstep for insurance. Luckily, it goes off Mark Stahl's stick and in. But, like, guys, this is what you need to do. Go on the rush, get the play cycling, or just shoot the fucking puck. Try and get the rebound, the dirty plays. All goals count. So it was like they were afraid to shoot, or everything was getting blocked like crazy. It's like off the leg, off the stick, and go the other way, or nobody home for the rebound. It was just like they were a step behind on every play.
Yeah, and Bobrovsky's really good about directing rebounds. Like, anything that came off of him that was a decent rebound by the looks of it, there was nobody there. Like, he knew exactly where he was putting them. There was one
Mhm.
that the broadcasters pointed out where Bunting was out in front of the net, and the way that Bobrovsky comes out right beside him, so that even if there is a rebound, there's no space for Bunting to do anything with it. Like, he really just turned into playoff mode. There's a
Yeah.
reason he's earning that money, and he hasn't showed it in a long time. But of course, here he is.
But if you think about it, like the Leafs had to face Vasilevsky in the first round, right? What was their game plan? Get it deep, cycle, get it to the point, maybe get it to your wingman, back to the other point, get the screenshot, deflection, rebound, tip in, or clean shot. They scored so many goals on Vasilevsky doing that, and they're just
Yep.
not doing that type of play right now. Like they have no sustained pressure in the offensive zone, no cycle game, and when they're not getting those type of point shots, it's hard to score on ball because he's seen all these shots. Like he can line up, he can come out of the crease. They're really getting away from that.
Yeah, Leafs were dumping the puck a ton for a team who were like they weren't winning the battles. Like
No.
it was just dump, dump, dumped. I felt like I was watching 2017 Leafs at one point, just the dump and chase play, and you're like, oh fuck, they dumped it again, they dumped it in again.
Yeah,
Like someone carry this thing in the zone.
and if you dump and retrieve, that's fine. But if you keep dumping and not retrieving, and then you're like hot 2 men deep,
Exactly.
that's a massive problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, kudos to some of the defensemen who were jumping in to help fight it out of the boards there when it seemed like nobody else was going to. But
Yeah,
again, that's when you saw Marner go and take the point, and he wasn't playing the best there. So it was kind of like a bit of good, a bit of bad.
I do gotta say though, even though Samsonov went down, unfortunate injury tonight, the guy was perfect in net. He didn't let anything go through in this first period, and I thought the Leafs, they were on it was going well for them. I thought the second period was going to be great, and unfortunately, 37 seconds into the second, it's our own damn players crashing in. Shin taking out Sammy, getting tripped. Oh my god. Hope he's okay. We don't know. Beaner suggested it was a dislocated shoulder. I hope not. Knock on wood. I thought it was the hamstring around the
same.
post. And yesterday during practice, it was reported that Samsonov he was seen grabbing his left side, and this was his left leg tonight. And he was also witnessed breaking a stick in practice and also just bashing it on the crossbar after 2 times he let in a goal. So I'm like, damn, was something lingering too? I mean, it totally not his fault in the second. This is uncontrollable, but just the worst time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they can go to Wall. I mean, you can, but it's such a crazy time to go to somebody that's so young. Like you kind of have to ride Sammy at this point, and it sucks that he's hurt, and came into the game obviously with something nagging him. So, what do we do from here? The report is that Murray is skating again.
You got to go with Wall. I think he played a pretty great game today. He's been great in the stretch for them at the end of the season. I don't like the way he played that last goal. I think he should have been in the butterfly. He should have had his paddle down and went right through the middle of his legs. Obviously, his stick was 2 feet from the fucking ground. However, he is a reliable goaltender, and just putting in Murray, like, he's so cold. You don't know what he's going to bring right now. And goaltending is not the problem right now. It's scoring. Scoring is the problem. Like the first 2 games, we should have scored so many more goals. Bobrovsky's goals above average was ridiculous. Yeah. And if you start scoring, that eliminates all these things. We shouldn't be relying on goaltenders to steal this series.
Well, no, and that was the story the whole time, was they just need above 900 goaltending. It doesn't matter who it is. That's not what's going to carry this team through. If they can play offensively like they were in the first 2 games and get that amount of shots and get the high danger shots on him again and just get something fucking past him,
they're going to go in eventually.
Exactly. So it's just frustrating that they weren't on tonight, like, at all. Yeah. Nobody was giving what they were the first 2 games.
Doug Leaf fan on Twitter actually asks, Murray start in game 4. So we did see Kyle Dubas give him the nudge that he was technically the emergency backup goalie just in case. But I agree with you, Suthy. No. I mean, this is why we have him. We have him for playoffs, but it's not ready. Like, I'm not ready for some soft Murray bullshit right now. Like, my heart cannot take it. Wall has been playing. AHL's top goalie, yes, but the brick wall, I mean, considering the score tonight, he stood on his freaking head, especially in the third and OT there. Like, he's doing well. It's the offense and the defense. Like, we
Yeah,
just need a
I'll grant you this.
score.
If he lets in like 3 on 10 or 3 and 12, he's gone. It's going to be a pretty short leash, but I don't see a world in which we start Murray.
I don't think he
Mhm.
starts, but I mean, he's going to be on the bench, I assume. I don't think they're going to. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
unless he's
super short
really not
leash.
well enough, it seems like they're gonna go with Murray on the bench and not call up Shalgren. So we'll see.
There's 3 days too till the
Yeah,
next game, which is
true.
to our favor. I
Yeah,
feel like if Samsonov is good to go, he's in no matter what. If he gives
100%.
the okay, but at the same time, it's like it's do or die, right? Do you put Murray in the final chance as a Leaf, perhaps, or go with Wall or Sammy? Because it's
I,
do or die. It's literally do or die now. I hate to freaking say it. I don't even want to think about it. We're going to go to game 7 if it happens. And that's it. No more excuses.
okay, so lineup wise, they went 11-7 tonight. What do you guys want to see from Keefe as far as who he puts out for the next game?
Oh, but it's hard, right? Like I was happy with tonight's lineup, to be honest. Like I thought tonight was great in that aspect and being able to rotate Nylander through the lines and, give a different combination in short shifts with the core. But they have to find a way to win these puck battles and get to the puck first and cycle the puck, which they have. It's just that when the pressure's on, it's hot and too hot to handle.
I think you go 7 defensemen again and short on the forwards. I don't love the idea of playing Hall 20 minutes. I would consider maybe putting Lilly back in for Gustafson. But other than that, I think the lineups aren't going to change very much, I don't think.
That's kind of what I was feeling to a T. I don't really love the fact that Hall's in, but I don't know how else you run the 11-7. He's
Yep.
not been playing great in the playoffs. It's nothing against the guy, and I'm not trying to be ragging on him again. It's just he has not had a great playoff run. So Gustafson again had a good offensive night, but bad defensively. And if they need to just shore up the defense so that the forwards can spend their time trying to score, then maybe it is bring Lilly back in for Gus.
The
I really
glaring,
appreciate.
I was going to say,
Go
the
ahead.
glaring thing is Gio playing under 8 minutes. Like, this guy needs to be better. He is better than this. Granted, he's a little long in the tooth and everything, but he can bring so much more than what he has been lately. And that's, I think, what's really missing, shoring up the defensive end right now.
100%. He's -7 in the playoffs.
Like,
He's addressed it every time with the media. This guy's pissed, right? Like he's so unhappy with his play right now. And I gotta say tonight, I was happy Justin Hall was in, even though
me
that
too.
breakaway he could have cut off. He didn't take the center slot, right? Like he always turns the wrong way. It seems when he's one-on-one with a guy and then leaves a whole lane open. But he led the team tonight with blocks. I mean, at this point, we need all of the blocks we can get. It feels like a blocking battle, and then whoever gets the loose puck has the best opportunity to rush off and score. It seems like I don't know. We need the blocks, and Justin Hall is in for me next game.
But that's why you have 7D, right? Your top four of Brody, Shen, Riley, and McCabe. Solid, right? Other
Yeah.
three, you need to rotate who's playing well. You use Hall on penalty kills because he's great on the penalty kill, but you can't be playing him 5-on-5. He was on the ice for the last minute of regulation. Like that that
That's
can't
how much they
happen.
trust him.
I don't know. When you have Shen and when you have McCabe, who's been playing so well, when you have Brody and Riley, like it just doesn't make sense that when you're trying to, I don't know. I guess you don't want to let a goal in at the end, but fuck.
Unfortunately, Shen tonight, one of those power plays for Florida was his fault. 2 giveaways, 4 hits, thank you very much, but 1 block. I don't know, we need more from everyone. Like, get in position, get the rebound, dirty plays, like anything. Anything. I'm trying
Yeah.
not to get the emotion to get the best of me, but Florida, 6-game win streak now. What a way
Yeah.
to sneak into this playoffs and slay the Boston Dragon, and now it's us.
But
So I just, we're not counting ourselves out.
No,
like
we're not.
all of Leafs Twitter has done already.
Yeah, we can
Everyone
all
is
fuck
already
off.
counting out the Leafs. Yeah. But
Because like we do have the horses to come back, and all it has to take is just one game at a time. If we win one, you put a little bit of doubt into Florida. You win two, they're back on their heels. Offensively,
mhm.
on paper, we do have the better team. We have the better chances through the first three games, despite today. And you know, it's so cliche, like it's a Bill Belichick thing. Just on to the next game, one game at a time. But I don't know, if they win one, there's a chance.
For sure. For sure. And they have to keep pushing and ride that momentum and all pucks to the fucking net. Like just anything, everything to the net. Even if there's a bunch of asses in front. Tonight it went
Agreed.
off somebody's ass. Like you just need to get it to the net. And I mean, we won the faceoff dot 61% tonight. No power play opportunities, which really hurt, right? Like the Leafs were banking on Florida to come out gunning and blazing, crashing around the boards, hopefully getting a ton of calls our way, but that didn't happen tonight. So this 5-on-5 play, man, just maintaining possession, which kills me because before the game they went over the ozone stat of possession and the Leafs are over double the time of
Mhm.
the
Exactly.
Panthers.
Yeah, what about
Ugh.
Camp going 13-1 on the dot though?
That's
Again,
Ooh.
this one dude can't carry the series though, but fuck, it's so sick that he's playing so well.
And wait for him to show up. I mean, Camp hasn't been super noticeable this playoff series or even
Or
last
this,
round.
I was gonna say this season, he's kind of
Season.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playoffs anyways. But man, Nylander hasn't scored since game 2 of round 1. It's been a
Nice
while
assist
for
today,
Ryan
but
O'Reilly as well.
yeah, it has.
Yeah. It's just goals win you the games and Gio
Yeah.
said it himself. Like it doesn't have to be pretty. It just needs to go in.
Yeah. Okay. I know it's a little early, but let's just go through our questions here.
Sure.
So from Julian Aubrey, we got team hit the golf course after round 1. Guess we all do the same. Huge changes in the off season. Best chance of a run at the cup, and they failed to show. Enough is enough. I am not going there yet.
No.
We are not
No.
talking about anything until the season's over. Alan Peterson, why was Hall suited up tonight? Like we said, because he blocks shots, he kills penalties, he's
Yeah.
good defensively.
You need to switch it
Usually.
up. You lost
But,
2 games
yeah.
in a row.
Yeah, and coming into tonight, I expected anyways a shit ton of penalties to be handed out, and Hall could have been incredibly useful on these PKs, which you know what? He did block an awesome shot on that first PK, and I don't know, Hall needs to be there right now, and I don't care who hates me for this, but no, he
And
needs
that's
to
to
be
the
in right
first
now.
question. Like Leafs fan base, just calm down a little bit. The extremism is giving me whiplash. It's
Yeah.
you win. Oh, these guys are the best team of all time. Let's sign Dubas to a 100-year deal. They lose. Oh, let's fucking get rid of everybody. It's over. These guys are terrible. Like,
It's kind of
slow down a little
embarrassing.
bit. Just breathe a little bit.
Well, you know who the biggest Leaf fan in the Star Wars universe is? It's Darth Vader, and only Siths deal in absolutes. So, you know,
Exactly. We are no Siths.
Man, just it's Leafs forever, not Leafs when they win. Honestly, it's not
oh,
over.
Yeah.
that's the
Sorry.
title.
And
It's
think about the
just
journey that we've been on, right? Like this team has matured so much in the last 5 years. If they're who we think they are, they're going to win a game. Hopefully, they win another one, and they're going to show us what they're made of. And if not, then we will deal with it afterwards. But give them the chance. They finally got over the hump of winning the first round. Their back's against the wall. They've never faced adversity like this in the second round. So let's see what they can do. Let's not count them out just yet.
and the Leafs came back from a 4-1 deficit in the first round to the Tampa Bay Lightning with less than 10 minutes left of play. So anything is possible here. Everyone counted them out in the first round, during that game. They
Mhm.
literally sent their phones packing, already got out their golf clubs.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, have fun on the course, bud. I'll be out here cheering for our Leafs because we bleed blue. And that's it. Like, it's freaking sorry, this is my personal opinion, but it's embarrassing to see, like, the immediate jump off the bandwagon after a game 3 loss. Like, guys, this is a 7-game series for a reason. Okay, if you want to jump off the bandwagon after 4 games, then that's your own prerogative. But for now, we still have another game to play. You have to go shift by shift, win each shift, and keep pushing. Sorry.
Next one, Mikey D. Do you go 11-7 in the next game? Yes, as we
100%.
answered.
Yes.
Ryan Willie, shout out. Can we skip to game 4? Please. 72 hours is too long.
Agreed.
Fair.
Here's a
But we
fun
need the
little-
time for Sammy to recover. Sorry.
Here's a fun little point about going 7-11. Why don't we introduce Connor Timmins into the series instead of Gustafson?
Please.
He's much more reliable.
Oh my God.
He's not going to give you the flashy offense that Gustafson can, but he's also not going to make the glaring mistakes that he makes in his own end.
I notice with Gustafson, he always catches the pass, waits, and then takes the shot. Like, I would love him to just slap that freaking puck and not let anyone set up, you know? Like, I feel like the Leafs are really hesitant on the play, and they just need a giver. Just do it. Like, you know, like, just take the shot. Don't think. Like, just, I know there's a lot of bodies in front, but it might go off someone's freaking ass, like we've been saying.
Yeah, because like to your point, when you're waiting, someone gets
Like
in
for
your lane,
Hades.
you block a shot. Your forwards are deep. The Florida Panthers have 3 forwards pressuring the D, so it's obviously an automatic rush right from there, and it did happen a lot.
It looks like the Leafs were playing on the PK and it was 5-on-5. Like, just the way the Panthers hemmed them in into their own zone. Man, like, I understand the frustration, Leafs Nation, okay? Like, after witnessing that and the core, but one day at a time, one shift at a time. It might be one more time, but no, we believe. Sorry.
Next question.
Chris Richey, is it time to blow up the core after the season? They don't have the heart to or drive to win 4 straight. We will talk about that if it comes time to talk about that.
Let's talk
Well,
about
one
that
of our
after.
players, yeah, and one of our players still has the heart, okay?
And
But
you know what? I didn't really think Matthews played that bad. He's hit so many posts this series. His 2-way play has been excellent. Like, he's carrying Marner right now. I don't like the hate he's getting right now. I feel is completely unwarranted. Although I think he can take it up to another level and dominate offensively. At least he's playing really good defensively.
true.
I kind of give him
There was
a bit of a pass.
There was a crazy takeaway he had tonight. Like, he was covering for the D a lot. People that got by them, and someone pulls the puck back to try to grid around the D, and they don't notice that Matthews is right behind them, and he'll steal it from them. He's great at that. I think it's just because Draisaitl's got so many goals, and McDavid's dominating too, that they're just looking for him to do the same. And it's like they're playing a different game this year. It's just the other guys need to support him a little more and generate some offense. Because I mean, outside of a couple little plays, Willie, Tavares, and Marner were pretty absent tonight.
Exactly.
And sorry guys, it's just frustrating because you witness Matthews doing what he does. He got hit in the wrist tonight with a puck. He could have been easily done, right? Even Achari getting it right in the middle of his hand. There hasn't been many opportunities for Matthews to do what he does best and break out and deke people. Like, he's spending majority of his shifts chasing the puck around and playing in his own zone, blocking shots. Like, he barely has any ice, and when he does, he has like 3 Panthers on him. Like, he's not getting.
What kind of ice has Marner opened up for him? Like, he hasn't done anything to help Matthews'
Not
offensive
much.
game. Nobody has. This guy's fucking driving the whole line, and he's carrying these fucking clowns with him.
Then they finally get a face off. Yeah. Oh my God. Sorry, Suthy.
No, go ahead.
But they finally get a face off, and immediately it gets out of the zone, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, another missed opportunity, or they ice the puck again. The overtime, the first minute, icing party. Oh my God. And it's just face off after face off in your own zone.
What's crazy is that's not the first time they've done that this season. Remember that time where they iced it, where Willie iced it?
In Tampa, they iced it at shitload too, yeah.
But when they went into overtime, that one time where Willie iced it 3 times on one shift, like right when they started, like, this is a habit they have. Like, they get stuck and they just dump it down.
Again,
granted, Lafferty beat one of those. It shouldn't have been icing, but
I feel the refs missed 2 pretty clear offsides too that would have changed it, but that doesn't matter. You play with what happens, and
what happened sucked.
Well, I have a question from Optimism in this day and age at Steve Steele 23. Do you think Dubas can fix the Pens?
fuck off with this.
Right.
But again, we're not. I'm not
Just-
talking. I'm not indulging this whatsoever. I refuse.
Well, we're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear it.
Oh, we're gonna hear it.
Incoming Leaf jokes.
For the
Yep.
next 48 hours, it's all it's going to be. In talk radio, everything is doom and gloom, doom and gloom. These guys got to blow it up, and they're going to win a game. It's going to be like, oh, do you believe? Do you believe?
Yeah, Boston
Over it.
fans were saying Leafs in 4. Now they are on the, Leafs getting swept boat. And I don't know, it's always going to be the Leafs against the rest of the world, the hardest way possible. So bring it.
Oh yeah, one of my friends has already completely changed our group chat from Leafs Nation to Oilers Wagon.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good for you.
Oh, that's the last question I had. I have to check my Discord, but
Oh, Seattle scores. Opens the scoring in the second period. It is 1-0. Let's go.
Seattle, wow.
Jordan Eberle.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
What a pesky
McCann's still
team.
out.
oh my god. So we have one from 7th Swordsman 7.
Are we doing it? Is it one that we're actually going to answer?
Well, let's hear them.
Well,
they
let's
they
see.
ask us.
I didn't see a
present
lot
it.
from your big guns in a must win. Most of that you could say was Florida's play on them, and that the real fault was with the Leafs is Keefe. Getting outcoached, he needed to get players freed up, and why is he reading the lineup card before games? It's embarrassing, I'm assuming. I don't know. There's a lot of hate for Keefe right now, saying that he's mishandling this lineup and coaching the games, like pretty much pinning the fault on Keefe on how he's been handling rolling out the lines, maybe not putting Matthews and Nylander together after the first or second period. What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. He's been juggling lines a lot, and running the 7, you get to play around with where other people are. I don't know. I feel like he's done well with what he's got. There's a couple choices that have been interesting. Like we mentioned, Hall being out there for the last minute is a choice. There were some similar decisions in the Tampa series where there were people out there for the last minute that shouldn't have been, in opportunities where the Leafs are trying to score, and he instead goes defensive. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think Keefe has done an awful job.
I don't think so either. I thought he's done some pretty good line juggling. I like the 11-7 thing that he's doing. He's not out there getting no shots. Like when Gustafsson and Camp have 3 shots, and that's your most on the team, and everyone else only has 2 or less.
Jesus.
Facts.
Your star players have to be your star players at the end of the day. He's given them opportunities to play with a whole bunch of guys, and nothing has clicked. So I don't like him playing Hall in the last minute, but I also don't think this is his fault.
No, exactly. And as far as coaching goes, like when you've got those stars, like how much are you really doing that's affecting whether they score or not? Like how much of an impact how much of a detriment can he be to their game that they're not scoring?
Yeah, it's not him shying away from taking a hit to make a play out. That's on the players. I honestly don't believe this is his fault.
No.
Me either, honestly. Like, you guys are right. What more can you do besides mix up the top 6? I mean, maybe Nylander would have activated with Matthews there. Who knows? But to blame the entire postseason on Keefe, I think that's too much. Too much.
Yeah. Heiskanen just took a shot to the face and went to the dressing room. That sucks. Man, a lot of gruesome shots to the face in this playoff run so far.
Yeah. Man.
Okay, so where do we go from here?
Regroup. Just get back to what you've been doing all season. This is a team who has always been great on the breakout. They've been a cycling team. Their horses have been their horses, and that's not what's been happening this series. So your best guys got to be your best guys, because on paper, Toronto's best players are much better than Florida's best players, and it just hasn't been the case yet.
Yeah, the fact that you got danced on by Anthony Duclair, I mean, no knock on him, but it's like he can't look like the best guy on the ice when you're paying $40 million for the guys you are. Like
he can't, and Camp and Lafferty cannot be the best players in blue and white. It just cannot happen.
100%. And our friend Mike the Fanatic, sums it up right here with a comment. I'm probably too late, but why? That's my question. Why do the big boys perform like this over and over and over again when their backs are against the wall? This fan base gives them everything, and in return, we get that kind of effort. I'm feeling quite low right now. And we're allowed to feel these emotions. We don't have the answers. I wish we knew why, but it's just an endless battle wondering why. So I feel you, Mike, but still believe it is not over just
And Mike,
yet.
to your point, I exclude Matthews from this. Again, he can be better offensively. He should be dominating a bit more. But stuff he's been doing defensively and like team wise, I think he has been pulling his weight. Everyone else, you got to step it up.
Yep.
Agreed.
100%. Everyone. It's do or die. That's it. And the thing that pisses me off the most, if it comes to that, we're never going to see this same roster together again. Like a lot of people need contracts. The bottom six, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with Murray, Samsonov, right? Like we want to keep this team together, make it far, and you just got to give it all out. So do we see Timmins? Do we see Murray? Like we'll see what happens, but man, just have to stay positive.
2-0 Seattle.
Wow.
I can't believe this team. Sorry, but it's
They're such a team. Like they roll 4 lines all the time. They're constantly attacking. They're very, very fast. These guys are great on the attack. They're a really hard team to play against. No real superstars or anything, but just a quality team.
Speaking of fast and hard to play against, on the other coast, New Jersey winning 8-4 over Carolina, a team
Insane.
that very rarely gives up more than 2 or 3 goals ever.
Rob
Holy
Brindenmoor
shit.
is going to do a 5-hour workout tomorrow morning and just fucking have an aneurysm over this. He's pissed.
Man, after watching the Hurricanes demolish them on Friday 6-1, I did not expect this 8-4 score. Like they looked very bad, guys, like really bad. So the Leafs just have to adjust just like the Devils. Like they adjusted against the Rangers. They came back from were they 3-0 or 3-1-2, right? Like it's so possible.
I'll give one
So
positive to
possible.
the boys tonight. I thought they really, really nullified Kachuk tonight. That guy was pretty much a non-factor for almost the whole game. And
And
if you can
Bennett.
keep that going forward too, you should. That's a winning recipe. You just have the other guys got to step up a bit.
Yeah, they've also been able to do the same with Gudis, and like we talked about that in the last one, where he's pretty much been turned into the hitty instead of the hitter. Like they've really been able to neutralize him.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that down the line, like the third line matchups, I guess defensively, you end up having Reinhardt, Duclair, Bennett, or whoever it is out there, and those guys have been able to sneak through and have kind of been the difference makers for Florida.
Gudis looks like a caveman with his scruffy long beard now. Oh my god, he looks frightening. But even we were saying in the Discord, Bunting with his murder eyes. Oh my god, I'm glad nothing too crazy went down, but I mean, getting choked several times or
Maybe he's another
headlocked.
guy who can step it up a little fucking bit. Like, don't be so afraid.
Yes.
Be a little nastier. Like, you are a nasty player. That's how you succeed. Like, you're not dirty or anything, but like you got to be chippy. You got to be hard to play against. And right now, he's like vanilla ice cream soft.
All of them.
Fucking 10 ply.
All of them, man.
Yeah,
like
fucking
just
10 ply, bud.
Lafferty though tonight, big props to him. I thought he had an epic game, probably one of the best of his Leaf career. How he was on the ball, how hungry he was for the puck. Oh my god, that bald beauty.
You guys think we can take the next game?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and then send it back to Toronto. It's just, fuck, the home games haven't been good. I was hoping the away game would do it.
Good.
Oh my god, it's 3-0 Seattle.
Oh my god.
We're in bunches,
my god.
This team is crazy.
Eberle, then Wenberg, and who's the
Dallas
next
has
one?
a real Robertson problem right now too. He's only scored 2 goals this playoff.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's this? Carson Suthy. First career postseason goal.
Kaprizov, Kirill the Thrill, was a complete ghost during their first round, so that's why Minnesota is also out of the playoffs. But Wednesday, guys.
Oh, Susie just beat Ottinger 5-hole. Like, just
Ooh.
rushed in. Oh my god, like oh, that's a bad one for Audie.
Ottinger with NHL record numbers last postseason. Remember him and Markstrom battling it out, and
Mm-hmm.
oh my god, that was an
Submitted
epic battle.
3 goals on 13 shots. It's brutal. Okay, so what's do we want to do a start one, bench one, cut one?
I feel we
Sure.
should.
Yeah, we should.
Okay. What I don't have one. What realm should we delve into? And I'll pick one quick.
I thought you had one up your sleeve.
No, I can do it quick though.
I'm highly unprepared for this.
No, we got this. We got this.
Okay, we did pizza
pizzas.
last time.
Oh no! I got this. I got this. Okay. Movie franchises.
All right.
Okay.
What you got?
Star Wars, Harry Potter, and what's another longish one?
Lord of the Rings.
No, one that's like more than a trilogy.
Fast and Furious.
Fast. It's not even compare. Well,
I don't know. Good question. Well, if it's gonna be this way, this is very easy for me.
we could do
But-
Twilight.
I was just thinking maybe
Twilight, Harry Potter, and Star Wars.
Easy.
go.
Cut Star Wars. Sorry, fans. I've never watched Star Wars before, so that's just an immediate cut. I know it hurts to hear. Never have I ever. It's the best thing ever. Then you gotta start. Wait, what are the other ones? Harry Potter and what?
Twilight.
Start Harry Potter and bench Twilight. Easy.
But you, Suthy.
Ooh, this is tough. I do have a Harry Potter tattoo on my ankle.
Do you have a Star Wars one?
No, I don't. Not yet. It's terrible. Fuck it. I'm starting Star Wars. The first 3 movies are fantastic, almost unbeatable. The 3 after that were pretty good. 3 after that were super shit. We're cutting Twilight because I think
the 3 or 4 in between or whatever. And
Thanks
think
for the warning.
Twilights are all terrible. The first movie is not too bad, but the acting is just disgusting. And it's weird because Robert Pattinson and I can't remember her name right now. The actress are amazing actors right now, like top notch. But they're absolutely terrible in those movies.
And he hated it playing in that
and then
movie.
Harry Potter, it's gonna slide right down in the middle. Those are pretty great. Other than 1 or 2 movies, I usually bang them out once a year. But
Nice.
yeah, Star Wars. You gotta go Star Wars.
okay, this is actually harder than I thought it was going to be, and I've had to think about it this whole time. I'm going to, because I've been playing
Start Twilight?
so much. No, I've been playing so much Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh
and,
god,
like,
me too.
they're going to start the new series and everything, and like I grew up on those movies. I gotta, regardless, fuck J.K. Rowling, but I'm gonna go Star Wars, or not Star Wars. Sorry, Harry Potter. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna bench Twilight because I hate watching those movies. They are so fantastically horrible.
My girlfriend makes me watch them once a year.
Nothing hits harder than Supermassive Black Hole in that baseball game. That is.
The running in that movie is so stupid. I can't stand that fast food
It's
thing.
so funny. They're like getting pulled on a treadmill. Have you ever seen the clips where people like take the blue filter off of it and it just looks like a shitty student film?
Yeah. Fun fact:
We also
that
worked with the
author
stunt supervisor who did those movies.
Oh, she has been the only other Stephanie I've seen spell her name the same way I do, and that's rare, super
Why are you
rare.
cutting Star Wars then?
I'm cutting Star Wars because of how much Disney has diluted it and all the things that I just cannot keep up with, and they're making it harder to be a fan of Star Wars. Like,
Oh,
I
You're very
grew
right.
up being a fan of it, and I have felt like overwhelmed and unable to keep up with the amount of stuff that comes out. Like, I've barely gotten into the Mandalorian. Oh my god, it's 4-0 Seattle. I've barely gotten into the Mandalorian. There's like I haven't seen all of the side movies. I don't think I saw Lando Calrissian and fucking Han Solo movie. I didn't see the Obi-Wan. There's like
Rogue
all
One's
these.
pretty good.
I saw Rogue One. It was good. That was probably the last new one I saw, and it's like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
I'm like
It's
1,000
so
hours
much.
behind.
I feel like Harry Potter overall is the better series, but the first three movies of Star Wars, they can't be topped.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Okay.
That's why it's so hard for me to cut it. It's just because of like 3 movies out of what's now feels like 15, and a bunch of
Yeah.
series and the animated shows, and now there's Young Jedi.
It's oversaturated.
Yeah. What's
Wow.
hilarious though is there's the new Netflix, or sorry, not Netflix, I guess Disney Plus animated series of Young Jedis. So it's like all the younglings in school, and everyone's like, doesn't that end with Vader killing them all though?
Yes, it does. Fun fact about Harry Potter too. I heard HBO signed on to do 7 seasons, one for each book.
Oh,
Yeah, that's kind of what I was mentioning. Like, there's a series coming, so I'm interested to see who they end up casting, because it is like redoing the original story. It's not,
Yeah.
you know, oh, we're gonna fucking now it's more of the universe you got to follow. Like, I think
No.
they kind of the Fantastic Beasts didn't do as well as they thought it would, and I think they learned their lesson that people don't want to expand the universe. I think it's just going to be about like going back and maybe doing it again for the next generation, because it's crazy that it's been fucking almost 25 years since the first one came out now.
Yeah.
I have another start one, bench one, cut one if we have time.
Yeah, we have time.
Okay, start one, bench one, cut one. Subway, Mr. Sub, or Firehouse Subs?
Oh, this is a good one. Rip Quiznos. There's like none of them left anymore.
No, I know, I never see them. So, and I
Fun
had
fact.
Firehouse Subs today.
Fun fact before we get into this, did you guys know what happened with Quiznos?
No?
So
Tell us.
Quiznos was basically a pyramid scheme, or is a pyramid scheme. The whole business model was set up that they make profits by selling ingredients to the stores. So you buy the Quiznos as a franchisee, and you have to buy all of your ingredients and everything from the Quiznos warehouse and head office, and that's actually how the company makes its money. So it's like you're basically it's a pyramid scheme. Like, you are only making money by having to offload what Quiznos has offloaded to you, and they have already cashed it.
Wow.
So they left all their franchisees out to dry. And so when all these places went belly up, Quiznos was like, we got our money though. So that's why there's not many of them left.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, it's
The
fucking
more
crazy.
you know. Damn.
All right,
Anyway.
start it off, Steph.
Me.
Well, you
Okay.
proposed it.
Yeah.
Okay. All day, every day, Canadian classic. We are starting Mr. Sub.
Whoa, 16 different Seattle Kraken players have scored this postseason.
Yeah, they're a
Hell
complete
yeah.
team, man.
That's
They
Just
won
like the
4
regular
lines.
season. 20, at least 6 players with 20 plus goals, comparable to the winning St. Louis Blues team.
Solid
Man.
tender.
Yeah.
wild. Okay,
But
start one, bench one, cut one.
We're always starting Mr. Sub. It is my go-to. I feel like it's a
Canadian.
lot. Yep, fresher, better ingredients. You can get mushrooms there.
Mhm.
It's not just hard caca bread like Subway. Subway eventually smells like nauseating shit, because when you work in a place where there's only Subway and you smell it every day, you're like, "Ugh," like it's just so bad. And I don't know, it's just so much fake caca nasty and not the toppings I want. Like, there's nothing I want there. So I'm cutting Subway. And then
Steph,
we're bench.
are you of Eastern European descent? Because nobody
No.
else uses the word caca.
Well,
I love it.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
And benching Firehouse Subs, I had it twice in my life, including once today, and pretty good, guys. Like, I just don't like that you can't customize anything and you can't pick shit. You just gotta pick one off the menu and hope for the best. Like,
You can.
and it's kind of expensive. Like,
It is a little pricey.
but you'd get a shit ton of meat, and I appreciated that. Haha. But no, it was good. And even though we got 2 small subs, it was still like 30 bucks. But okay, start Mr. Sub, bench, Firehouse, cut, Subway.
I hate Subway, but I am going
Thank
to start
you.
them because I have
Oh,
Stockholm syndrome with them. I used to live right beside a Subway, and I fuck with the cold cut trio like no other. I know what I'm getting with it. Half the time it's not that great. Half the time it still hits really nice. Subway first, Mr. Sub
I,
second, because like you said, you got mushrooms. I appreciate everything like they offer ingredient wise. I think their subs are a little skinnier, but yeah, pretty good. And I've never really fucked with Firehouse. I had once in my life, and it was all right. So I'm gonna dance with the devil I know here.
as you
wow.
were describing Subway, I could like taste the edges
Ugh.
of the toasted bread, and I'm like,
I
oh
had it
shit, I do
yesterday.
like Subway.
You
There's
hate
some
it and you start it. You're like, I
man.
hate, but
Pizza
Yeah,
sub from Subway. They've got some their new signature ones, not a sponsor, but the new signature ones they have are actually pretty good.
I'll never get any
Okay.
other one than a cold cut.
I like avocado. I like that aspect, but I don't
Okay.
know. It's not the same.
So I'm gonna okay, there's a Firehouse near my office. I've gotten it quite a bit. I really like it. Um I don't do a sub every, that often, so the extra couple bucks is worth it for Firehouse. They're like the hot ones with turkey and bacon and like onions and lettuce and tomato and their honey mustard, and oh, it's so good. And the bread is so good. Oh my god. You can customize them. You have to kind of, it's a little trickier to do.
Draw it out for them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you got to like go into the menu and customize it.
Ingredient map.
Yeah,
I
it's
liked
not
the
as
pickle. It
Oh
came
yeah,
with
and
a
you get
pickle.
the pickle you get, they're so good. And
That's
then I'm
Mine was
huge.
going
soggy.
to bench Subway because same reason, it's the devil you know. I've had so much Subway in my life. It's consistent. It's the most um what do you call it? There's the most locations of any fast food restaurant in the world.
Oh,
Yeah.
Subway.
interesting.
Well, yeah, and
More
if
than
you look into
McDonald's?
yeah, it's crazy. There's more Subways than anything else in the world.
Wow. Wow.
That's why they're so successful. And
Hmm.
there was one Mr. Sub across from my high school, but I only went to that high school for a year and a half, so I didn't really get into it that much. And I feel like Mr. Subs are a little less common now.
They're hard to find
Um,
too now. And you know what?
yeah,
Fair.
Here's a little tidbit for Ottawa listeners. Fuck all those places. Go to Sabuto. If you know Darienzo, he's the son of Darienzo, and he's better than the father. And if you get a turkey prosciutto
Oh.
with a little spicy eggplant, it's the best sandwich in Ottawa.
Mm.
send me that when I get back. I want to go.
Do they
So,
ship?
It wouldn't be good.
just before we sign off here, if you want to go down another fun hole with Subway, they so in South Korea there are no laws around product placement in TV shows and like how you
Oh,
can advertise things, because there aren't commercials in South Korea. Everything is
Ah,
worked into the shows themselves.
interesting.
It's odd for us Western people that are used to commercial breaks and like, subtle product placement in shows. Subway saw a giant market they could fill, and apparently every daytime teen soap opera, which is a big thing there, um, in South Korea, they're all very, 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 very sponsored by Subway. So
no.
like a ton of the scenes happen in Subways. People are always talking about getting Subway. They'll go for Subway
Dinner.
dates. Like every date that anyone goes on is at a Subway. It's fucking crazy.
That's funny.
I'll send you guys a video on it. I'll put it in the description of this. There's a
Fun
guy,
fact
Johnny
about
Harris, who did an awesome video on it.
product placement. I'm doing a movie right now. This is the first time we've ever had to do product placement things in this movie, and it's the biggest pain in the ass in the whole fucking world. Can't stand it.
Were
I'm not
you
gonna
on the
give them a
one?
shout out because they're not sponsored, but pain in the
Were you
ass.
on the one that we had to do on? I'm trying not to drop too many things. It was one we did with a certain director that we work with in Ottawa, as he's from there. We had to do a product placement. and it was the biggest pain in the ass ever.
So vague.
There's like 2 hour calls on LA just placing little foods. Like, get the fuck out of here, you guys.
Yeah, you have to live stream it to them, and
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Are there any
that was cool.
K-pops in Subway? K-pop videos?
Interesting. That'd be a smart merger.
Probably. Like, look, you can dive into it, and I'll send you guys the thing. But it's actually pretty funny, like how intertwined it is with their TV there.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not know that. Thank you.
yeah.
Well, let's end this with maybe Leafs Nation. Take a fucking breath. Let's get behind the team here. Let's not jump off the cliff just yet. If they lose, we can start doing that. But keep your feet on the ground for a couple more days at least.
Till Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it, man. Just got to stay positive. And we know what this team can do. It's been a rough playoffs, but hey, it's not over yet. We believe, just like Mikey D says, believe.
If you really love this team, believe, man. Let's fucking do it.
This is what we waited for. Don't count it out when there's still a game left.
Exactly.
Yeah. You wait all season long for these moments.
What's the fun in the doom and gloom? I don't know. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Me either.
All right. Well, you heard them. We'll be back. Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, and in our Discord, always at Leafs Late Night, where it's never too late for the Leafs, presented by Inside the Rink, as always. Good night.
Bonsoir.
Good night.
Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Leafs Late Night, your night of post-game podcast. Available after every game on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and more.
I could just hear Darty blaming Brody on that last goal.
I was waiting for his WWE music to come in.
Yeah, we didn't
Marty.
get to do Beaner v. Darty round 3. That'll have to be next time.
Yeah.
So
To be
who's
fair,
your-
it was
Go
Brody.
ahead, Steph.
Sorry.
Who is
yeah,
your
it was
sponsor you
Brody
were talking
chasing.
about?